Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Empire Total War with the American Civil War mod. Last time around I tried to do 2 battles, which kind of ended up wrong because I wasn't able to feature both of them really fully in the video. So we're probably going to keep it to just doing 1 battle. So with that, last time around we did have a fight here just on the border between Maryland and Pennsylvania, and there seems to be enough Union troops for a second battle in this region. A lot of colored troops and artillery has been brought up to make a push towards Washington DC and retake it. I'm a little bit worried about this small unit of these 2 it's not even volunteers, it's the militia unit. But I think that Richmond probably has enough like garrison troops that you get just from this being the capital. So that should be enough to hold these guys off. And then obviously the second battle was over at St. Louis, where we actually lost the town. And that's kind of a big blow because this is a military governor's barrack, which means that they can recruit a lot of units. We can even see what kind of units they can recruit here. So you can see they've got a massive list of a lot of different units and a lot of elite ones and so forth that can be recruited from here. So this could cause quite a bit of problem for us, since I don't really have a lot of troops down defending Jackson, Mississippi. However, I have recruited Longstreet, and we do have the Stonewall Brigade ready to defend, and we're going to get some more troops and then push upwards. I don't know if it was the right decision to have Beauregard continue to the north, but I wanted to keep the momentum going. So many times I sort of get lost for the fact that I don't take the cities. I try to very thoroughly get rid of all the enemy troops. So this time it certainly did not go my way, but I think it's going to go my way in the long run, because once Beauregard actually takes Detroit, he can jump over and take Lancaster, Ohio, and I mean Jackson's got nothing in his way. So he should be able to march all the way up to New York, central New York, take all of that, go through here. So there's a lot of stuff to take there. Also, we had some rebels set up in Upper Montreal, Canada against the British. And so even if they were to turn up a lot of troops to defend New York, central New York, New York is split into 3 different regions here, then we definitely can just pump up troops out here, because we're building up a governor's encampment, so we're gonna get good troops here. Also, in case the British fail to retake Quebec, I can use this force right here to go over and take this as well. Not entirely sure, but I think we'll try to give it back to Britain in exchange for them breaking their alliance with the Union and hopefully joining us instead. So we'll see how that goes. For this video anyways, we do have 2 distinct battles that I can choose from. So I do have the siege of Detroit, and we have the fight in Maryland. And I think the one in Maryland is we're gonna since we have already fought in Maryland, we're gonna continue, not having sort of a pause in between the first fight in Maryland and the second one. So pretty sure this army will be reinforced by this force at least, possibly some other units as well. So yeah, we'll see. The thing is, I think we'll still outnumber the enemy. The problem is going to be the fact that a lot of our troops are depleted, and the fact that they have a shit ton of artillery. But with that said, let's have Lee's army destroy the last of these incursion, these northerners incursion into our territory. Well, it isn't actually our territory. It's Maryland, so it's not our territory. It's their territory. Well, they started off with it. So even with their reinforcements, they'll come up to what, 3,800, while I have starting off with 3,500, getting another 1,000. So we do have the numbers advantage. The thing is to make sure that they do not deploy those bloody artillery guns, because they have a lot of them, and they'll start off with tons of them, and they're gonna get even more of them. And also there's a lot of colored infantry. Not entirely sure how. They're about as good as my Suaves, I think, roughly. Though they do have very high amount of morale. For some reason the 54th Massachusetts has actually lower morale. 12 compared to 14. But with that said, talked way too much. So let's go ahead and fight this battle, shall we? So at this point, I've already done this battle twice, both of the times it crashed. I'm beginning to think that it possibly is the Gatling gun that crashes the battle. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you how I've put the army together. So kind of a new thing that I wanna the way I'm gonna structure it is I'm kind of gonna use 3 units put together, call them a brigade, and we're gonna move them around like that. So at this point I don't really have enough or numeral troops to create 4 brigades, because what I wanted was 3 to move forwards in attack and 1 in the back to hold off the smaller reinforcements that might turn up from the back. So what we have is 2 in the front. We have this sharpshooter regiment, and then only 2 for this brigade right here. Hopefully though they will be joined by the volunteers once they're done with their part. Some of the smaller regiments include this regular unit and the Irish, which I put as artillery guards. This battle, I mean every battle of this I've done so far has been really nice weather, except for this one, which probably is the one that's gonna work, because why not? And it's bloody well raining. Yeah, we've got the cavalry. So in my idea to get rid of the Gatling gun is to charge my dragoons up towards where the enemy reinforcement in the back is coming, the one from the port, to quickly go up there, destroy the cannons before they are able to mess anything up. And yeah, there we have it. So let's go ahead and start executing this plan. Sending forwards the sharpshooters and the 1st brigade, the 2nd brigade, and a 3rd brigade, at the same time as my artillery will be releasing a hellstorm of fire on the enemy lines and the cannons. But most importantly, we're gonna get these units of cavalry forwards, where there is where the enemy comes in. So I think very well that this, yeah, that is the Gatling gun that is coming forward. Jesus Christ, it's a unit with 12 Gatling guns in it. The Union's got so much bloody units and stuff. How am I supposed to compete? But I do have taken a lot of their land. One of the funny things is there's a quote in the beginning when you start the model in the loading screens, where it's Lincoln that says, "Losing Kentucky is like losing the game," and Kentucky was the first state I took from them. We're gonna see here. Ooh! Simultaneous release. However, we're only able to shoot down 3 of theirs, while they are able to shoot down plenty more of us. So that's not gonna go too well. We're gonna refocus this one. What we have though is these 2 units. gonna come up really close on the ridge here and shoot the enemy in the flank. Let's see the dragoons. Dragoons, they will attack this column and break it. Back to the front line, and the 3rd Brigade is ready. Kinda ready. Let's get them in line and then throw them in. And at the same time, these guys are able to crest the hill, and in response this unit pulls back, but it might very well be too late as my infantry is on the hill ready to... I don't know what they fired at, but they didn't take a single guy out of that regiment, so I'm not entirely sure what those idiots fired. And cavalry rode straight into it, which isn't that bad. It's as long as they get these cannons over and done with. We've got the Napoleons here, got the Gatling guns over here. Ah shit, they're firing into me. Didn't lose that many men though, and the cavalry is breaking these guys down. Oh yeah, completely forgot about this. We have one regular unit that's turning up in the back, and the thing is, the volunteers on their own aren't really strong enough to break that one down, even though I put 3 of them. So we're gonna have the partisan rangers run around and get them. At the same time, the enemy is slowly being pushed back here in the center. Their artillery is being shot to pieces and so forth. Let's go back and check this. So our ambush of the column, what we need to get is, I don't care that much about the bloody infantry. What I need to get is those cannons. So we got some of them here, some of the Napoleons broken down. But I want to get through all of this, and I want to get at the Gatling guns, which are still here. Oh wait, are they deploying them? Yes, they are deploying them. And that's bad, because we don't want them deploying. Back to the front line. The partisans will charge in, and hopefully that will work out. I can't take a look there anymore. These guys... Ooh, this unit has actually lost quite a lot. Before you guys fire, we need to push you further forward. Get the snipers in there. We've got... Oh shit. Buford's cavalry. Turn around. So those 2 will turn around towards the cavalry. This one will move forward, hopefully fire over here. Let's go back, check what the cavalry's doing. Cavalry's doing pretty poorly at this point. They've lost a lot of men. However, we have done what we set out to do, and that is destroy the enemy cannons. And now we got a unit that is free here to attack the enemy. Right, artillery, Buford's cavalry, you need to refocus. This one, need to refocus on the colored infantry. And my volunteers and the partisans have successfully got rid of that unit, which means that we can send these guys forward up to the flank there. Robert E. Lee is very pleased with the fact that the battle has not crashed, and the last of the colored infantry has been sent off. My cavalry made it out of there, and Buford's cavalry is still there, but I manage to okay, hold your fire just for a little second for those guys to get out of the way. Now you can open fire again. Fire! Fire, goddamn you! Shoot down Buford's cavalry before they get our boys. Damn, that bloody trumpet is loud. Right. With that said, there's no we can't lose momentum. Oh shit. Charge these boys before they get into line. The brigades need to advance. The thing is, we're starting to advance out of cannon range, which is not going to go too well, is it? Oh, the enemy are within range. So let's tell them to fire at will. We've got the volunteers moving up. Partisan Rangers move up over here. And my cavalry managed to attack the 50th. Hopefully before... kind of looks like they were shot at before they actually reached... Shit. We're shooting down our own cavalry. Like, retreat. Get out of the church village. We'll hold this place here rather than pushing into the village. There's quite a lot of them. A lot of colored infantry moving forwards. Put yourself a little bit on the flank like that. Should work fine. Once the Partisan Rangers... What's this? Oh, it's from DC. We've got some troops from DC coming in. Where did I put the Partisan Rangers? Partisan Rangers needed over here. The other cavalry unit is on the far end of town. Looks like they're possibly chased by the 4th Regiment of Volunteers. Gonna have these guys possibly charge down through the village. Right now these guys are not firing, so we need to push these guys forward together with that one. And at this point the brigades have kind of broken up into, or been merged into a single line. And the Union is marching head on into our fire and our artillery. Kind of shooting their own there. And as they move kind of towards the center, we're able to encircle them. These guys are breaking apart. There's not a lot left. We've got one unit over there, which actually prompts me to bring these guys back. The volunteers have arrived, but I want them to turn up in the flank. The cavalry needs to turn up, get around over there. These colored infantry are in full retreat. What we'll do is we'll do it like that and have these two see the colored folk off the field. Where are those partisans? Put some pep in your step and get over here. Oh, am I still... The artillery is still targeting these guys that are retreating. Pick new targets and let's see if we can't break them and end the battle. Keep up the fire, boys. I think this is the key. Once this one falls, or basically this one, because this is a regular one, the other two that are still standing are volunteers. So once the regular one, the regular infantry unit, breaks apart, then most likely the rest of them will fall. And it is retreating. We'll split off the cannons firing on either unit. Other colored folks are back. We'll send them in the forest and start pounding them. And with these kind of breaking forward the brigade, and volunteers turn into their flank cavalry, come in around the back, and we are seeing the end of the battle here. We'll focus one artillery on this one and the other one on the most numeral colored infantry. And the enemy is soon to completely break apart. Oh, we hit the church there. At least the church survived. It hasn't started burning on anything. I don't think that would have worked in our favor, invading Union territory and setting fire to churches. They have kind of bit of a cover, a little bit of cover over there. The volunteers taking the sweet time to deploy under fire. Everyone's gone over here. All the artillery. The artillery can't reach. But the ones that can will fire over here. These guys should realize the game is up at this point. You know what? Chase after these guys. Make sure that we ride all of those down. This unit's not long for this world. And the Confederate Dragoons will turn on the retreating Union troops and cut them down. Make sure we don't have to fight those guys again. And now the other one is breaking. So he's leading his cavalry troop, rides in, cutting down the enemy. Capture those flags, will you? And they thought they were safe if they get to the other side, but there is where the partisans arrive. And suddenly they're beset on all sides by cavalry. I'll have the partisans continue chasing this one. I'll have the dragoons chase down the 8th colored infantry. Time to tell the cannons to hold fire. And yeah, the battle is won. Victory is mine. And here we have the statistics of the battle. We lost 1,000 men, while we inflicted almost 3,000 casualties on the enemy force. However, at this point you can see that Lee's army is quite battered, and it's I'm wondering if we will be able to continue the campaign. Most kills goes to Confederate cavalry, but then we got some regular infantry units. Not entirely sure which ones these are, because it doesn't actually say like 3rd or 8th or something like that. We know that this one must be the sharpshooters or the Irish, I think. The Irish over here, so they weren't used. So this is the sharpshooter unit, which didn't lose anyone and managed to inflict 210 casualties. Let's go ahead and set what we managed to do on the campaign map here. So we forced the Union back. Don't know exactly why they actually left. Why they left the harbor there, but it's quite a lot of them actually still there. And it's gonna cost me about 2,000 to replenish Lee's army. I've already given them a replenishment, so hopefully that will be enough. He will march out onto the railroad again, or onto the road. So he should be set to go into Philadelphia, which should be a piece of cake taking that. They've got some engineers building defenses, but it should more or less be over. There's no real threat. I mean, we have Detroit and we have St. Louis. Those are the two ones, but we can see that the Confederacy is winning at this point, and they have been winning for quite some time. We do have some, like, this could turn into a very disastrous oopsie if these guys manage to actually take Richmond, Virginia. But I doubt they will. Possibly reinforced by these guys, but I doubt it. Anyways, this will be it for this episode, so hopefully you guys enjoy this, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye!
Forward! Forward!